The Young and the Restless. Spoilers for Wednesday, August 29, 2018 begin with Phyllis arriving at Crimson. Sharon has been trying to find Summer, so Phyllis first informs her that Summer is on holidays and advises her to leave a message at the apartment, then tells her Billy and her have moved into the Abbott mansion. Phyllis finds it hard living in the house she once shared with Jack. Phyllis mistakenly reveals that she knew about Nick impersonating JT, which piques Sharon's curiosity. Phyllis acts like the only reason Nick told her is because they are Summer's parents and she was at Victoria's home the night JT disappeared. Sharon admits she is probably overreacting, but Phyllis warns her that they need to pay attention to Victoria, who is falling apart. Y&R sources show Victoria literally runs into Ray as she is trying to leave the dive bar. He reveals that he knows who she is, and met her lovely parents. Once she leaves the rooftop, Ray looks through the photos he took of her on his phone. Victor and Nikki are talking, when a rushed Victoria apologizes for being late. Victor begins to chastise her, but she quickly informs him she has been busy putting out fires that Nick and his new company, Dark Horse, have caused for Newman Enterprises. She leaves the table to take another business call and Victor wants Nikki to tell him what is wrong with Victoria. Victor feels partially responsible for Victoria's mood and they both apologize for their attitudes. He suggests they have dinner and invite Abby to come too. Victoria returns to the table, knowing Nikki tried to cover for her. She tells Nikki that if she really wants to help, she needs to back off. Nate attempts to talk to Devin about doing the right thing when it comes to Lily and her sentencing, but he doesn't want to hear it anymore. Abby arrives, revealing she has seen Lily and she isn't in good shape. Devin doesn't feel sorry for Lily and shows Abby the statement he has written for the judge. Abby wants to know whether he wants his sister to be treated fairly or get the maximum sentence. Devin feels his statement won't be enough to give Lily the maximum sentence. Abby feels Devin is not this person, but he says circumstances have changed him and even all the love in the world won't bring back his wife, Hillary, or his baby, and apparently he is the only person who is thinking of the two of them. Abby warns him if he goes through with this, he will push his entire family away. Devin angrily tells her that he wishes people would stop telling him what to do. Their conversation is interrupted when Victor calls, inviting Abby for dinner. Abby uses it as an example of how their family always makes an effort. Devin insists he isn't doing this to hurt Lily, but this is what Hillary and the baby deserve. At CAC, Victor suggests that Victoria and Abby act more like sisters again. Victoria apologizes for her mood and Abby accepts. Victor tells Abby she is always welcome back at NE, but she finds he is laying the praise on a little too thick with Victoria. Victor wants to celebrate, but before they can, Ray stops by their table, shocking everyone by revealing he is Arturo's brother. Victoria says she is going to work, but Nikki follows her, saying she wants to be there for her. Victoria bites back that she doesn't want, nor need her help. Nikki reminds her that she used to use the exact same words every time she was drowning. Abby wants to know what is going on between mother and daughter. Victor tells Abby that he has accepted her working with her brother, but doesn't want his troublesome relationship with Nick to interfere with theirs. She promises to not let him, nor the Newman name down. Nate finds Devin returning from a run, learning he heard what Abby had to say but feels she is only interested in one side. Nate tells Devin that Abby is stuck in an impossible situation as both him and Lily are her friends. He doesn't think Devin will find justice putting Lily in prison for 2 decades. Devin agrees but feels if no one is held accountable for Hillary and the baby's death, then he failed them. Nate tries to explain what this will do to his remaining family if he goes through with the statement, and that time doesn't make things easier, especially when you're alone. Sharon is in the middle of apologizing to Phyllis for implying Summer has spoiled brat syndrome, remembering Cassie's own rebellious phase and how that tragically ended. Ray finds the two women together, and even though they both offer to help him find more work, he tells them he simply appreciates their friendship and is just a guy trying to take care of his new friends, although it seems the two of them are more than capable of that on their own. Nikki and Victoria walk into the coffee house and are immediately suspicious of Ray. Victor finds Devin sitting up on the rooftop, admitting how much Hillary loved it there. He tells Victor he thought it would comfort him to be there, but all he sees are people moving on with their lives and he doesn't know how to act. Victor knows about the hearing tomorrow, and although he feels Hillary gave as good as she got. Devin reminds Victor that Lily grew up privileged while Hillary had to fight for everything she wanted, and in the end it was Lily's pettiness that killed Hillary. Victor admits he also knows Devin has a difficult decision to make, even though it's a tragic accident. So when Devin asks for advice, Victor tells him about his own family issues with Nick and how he overstepped this time, and Victor doesn't believe they could ever recuperate from it. If Devin feels like he cannot forgive Lily, then no one has the right to tell him otherwise, as this is entirely his choice. As Phyllis, Sharon, Nikki and Victoria are talking about Ray, Abby arrives to grab a couple drinks. Victoria demands answers and Abby admits that Ray said he was worried about Abby after everything with JT. When Abby leaves, all four women are concerned about Ray's curiosity regarding JT. Abby brings Nate a drink and they talk about Devin. They both think Devin truly believes he is doing this for Hillary and wish there was someone they knew who could get through to him before it's too late. Victoria tells the women that she doesn't like that Ray has been asking so many questions. Nikki feels she is being paranoid, insisting they all relax, but then Victoria makes a valid point. Why have none of them even found it weird that a new person would come to Genoa City, asking questions about her ex, JT, and purposely going out of his way to get to know all of them? Ray is standing at the door, watching the four paranoid women. Be sure to tune into CBS The Young and the Restless, Y&R, to catch up on everything happening in Genoa City right now. At Crimson Lights, Mariah declared to Nikki, Victoria, and Abby that it was the perfect place to plan Sharon's bridal shower, since Sharon wasn't working there that day. Nikki wondered where Summer was, and Mariah indicated that she'd left several voicemails but hadn't heard back. Abby proposed that they get started, since they were all taking time away from work. Mariah expressed relief to have some experts on board, since planning a shower was new territory for her. Mariah envisioned something unique, and she requested the women's thoughts. The group tossed around various ideas, but Victoria was clearly distracted and went to get coffee. Nikki looked worried. After Victoria returned, Abby suggested that they break into teams to brainstorm, Mariah with Nikki, and Abby with Victoria. Victoria voiced surprise because Abby hadn't wanted to work with her at Newman. Victoria rambled that all she could think about was the work piling up on her desk, and she abruptly excused herself and left. Abby was taken aback by Victoria's attitude, and she inquired whether Newman was still trying to recover. Nikki reported that the company had bounced back smoothly, and Abby wondered if Victoria was on edge because JT had surfaced again. Nikki doubted that JT would ever be back because it was too risky, and she figured that Victoria was just overworked between Newman and the kids. Mariah tried to turn the topic back to the shower planning, but Nikki left to check on Victoria. Mariah recognized that she wasn't used to the shower thing, but she imagined that it wasn't usually how things went. Abby assured Mariah that the shower would be awesome. Mariah was surprised that Abby seemed that into it, but she'd been even more surprised when Abby had accepted Sharon's invitation to be a bridesmaid. Abby confided that while she was happy that she and Sharon had cleared the air, she was really only doing it for Nick. Abby thought about how Lily and Devin's relationship had been torn apart, and it made her value her own brother even more. Abby contemplated whether Victoria had been acting that way because she was resentful that Abby had gone to work for Nick. Abby considered reaching out to fix things, but Mariah advised her not to get caught in the crossfire, given how Victoria had torn out of there. At Newman Enterprises, a frazzled Victoria dismissed people over the phone as she rifled through stacks of files on her desk. Nikki entered and offered to help, but Victoria insisted that she could handle it. Nikki encouraged her to delegate, but Victoria snapped that Nikki wouldn't know what to do, just like she didn't know what to